Alright, y'all, we starting with the 11 round liner. Get some bone lines. Because you want to stand out as much as possible. So what we going to do, and this is 12 gauge, I think. It might be a ball pin 18 round liner, but I know it's sharp, and to get them lines in there, this Mass Pro needle that I be using now. Okay, you all can see how I pull my lines. I mostly go from the wrist. Some people pull from the arm, but that's just not what I'm used to. So, whatever feel comfortable to you, I don't think there's no right or wrong way. So if you become good at knowing the way you do it, then I don't think it matters. Alright, y'all, so while remaining at 6.5 volts, that's a low kind of volts for me for lining. So we about to go in with the raid, just the light raid here. We're gonna start packing it in. All the circular motion. So if you have a problem with packing color or anything like that, I always say you can't go wrong with the small circles. It will definitely pack it in out. It's different ways to pack color. Of course, you could go pendulum motion back and forward, up and down, whatever, but circular in that one area, we're gonna guarantee you that saturation. Alright, y'all, so same way all the way around the tattoo. If you have a hard time, make sure you like kind of angle your needle to get those corners. Sometimes I start from the corner, try to fill that in first, and then start working my way to the middle. Or sometimes I'll start from the middle and then use a line if I need to for those corners. Whichever make it easier for you. But yep, keep using that circular motion all the way around the whole tattoo. Except the only spots I'm not going to use it to saturate so much is like with a cover up at, because I'm going to definitely put a darker red tone on top of the light red. Now I want that to go in pretty smooth. So I'm not going to work that up at its fullest, but I know I got to go back with the darker red. Well, yep, just keep this on throughout the whole tab. Okay, now we're getting close to the cover up part, which is right over here. I want to make sure I saturate this inside, not fully, because everything around this is going to need that shadow behind this stalk. So I'm going to kind of brush over it a little bit to where the red there and the skin is open. So yep, I'm going to brush this in. Then we're going to come back with our darker red. Let me rinse this light red out. We're about to come back with the darker red on top. And this really like a crimson red, so it's not super dark. So you could tell the difference though. I might even have to go into some black and kind of darken this red up. But I'll make a pilot separate cap for that because I don't want all the red to be as dark. Oh yeah. Alright, now y'all, this is our darker red. We're going to add some dark shadows. With that black, we're not really saturating it. Reason being, because what I'm about to do now, take the crimson red and go right on top of that. Soften it out. This is the part where we can really like make sure it's fully saturated, because after this we ain't gonna be touching it no more. Now the thing that helped with adding the color down before is to help the next layer ink basically go in there more easier. So y'all see how it's dark right there. Now what I'm about to do, I'm just gonna take a little brush from that. So I'm gonna use the dark red, but I'm gonna kind of slowly. This is not a packing motion right here. Back and forth pendulum motion. And it's going in with no problem. There we go. There's the structure to it now. But it's not as flat. Alright y'all, so now we're moving on to some green. That's going to be this middle stuff. And I'm gonna definitely kind of go in that middle saturated. That's where a lot of the old tattoos. Same way the small circle. And I'm gonna lighten it up as I come out towards the edges. Alright, y'all, notice the middle is lined a little slow as we get towards the middle of the chest. So I just bumped it to like the 7 volts, what I usually go at. Knock these lines down. I'm gonna try to knock all the lines down before I shade it in. Unless it just ain't gonna have those lines at all. But you definitely don't want to try to shade the skin in and then try to come back and line and do a lot more primer. And basically just to beat the skin up. And then try to go back over, which you easily will be able to rip the skin. Because you already worked it up. You don't want to do that. So I just line kind of as I go. And that's another thing I don't do. I'm not about to line the whole tattoo. Some people do it. No good for them. But a lot of the clients tell me when I line the whole thing and then come back to color, that'll be sore. And if it's sore, you're only putting the client through more pain, so you don't want to do that. That's why I'm not going too far with my own lines. Trying to stick close to where I'm gonna be working at. Appreciate you for subscribing. But yep, stick close to where you're gonna be working at. That way you ain't getting the client's skin all worked up. And then it be so there's better chance that them tapping out when you do it like that. So I say work like a printer from top to bottom, side to side. Alright, y'all, we back to our green. I'm about to drop it back down 6.5 volts for the coloring. You want to slowly work in the color. You don't want to work the skin up by running it super high. At least that's the way I do it, you know. Unless we'd overwork the skin by running the machine slow. You know, being sure to definitely saturate, you know, areas where the old tattoo at. Still using that circular motion. Okay, y'all. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but right now, by that being a shadow and that being green, you know, red is a complementary color to green, so I'm going to use the red to create that shadow, which is only going to make it darker. That's a technique I used to use all the time while painting, you know, because I try not to use black, so I'm going to definitely use the red to create this shadow behind this other red star. Slowly kind of packing it in. You'll see the difference. It's going to be darker. And this will also help it pop out that way. It's not like straight black. So just a little of that red. Now let's go back to our green. And basically brush right on top of that. And that's what a cover up kind of about, you know, trying to create that separation. To camouflage the old tattoo. So you want to kind of distract the eyes away from what was actually there. You see now that I went back on top with this green. It's like a darker green underneath there. But I'm going to wind up taking this yellow out to kind of soften that green up on the outside. Nowhere is necessary because you don't want it to remain super dark. I said it's all about creating that light source to make it stand out, separated, so you can't really tell that it was a cover up. That's the whole point of it. Alright, y'all, so I done pull my yellow out. I'm about to dip into my green a little bit and let it, you know, mix up with that yellow. Alright, we mix that up. Now we got the lighter green. We're going to slowly rub that in, pack that in there, and blend it. Now just giving it that light source to help it stand out. So you got to think about it, right behind this star, we still got some cover up the cover. So I'm not going to even color to that edge, because I need that light to help pop from that background. Like on this side, we don't really need it, so we can kind of color that in. You can try to use the skin as much as possible in situations like this. You see how it's starting to stand out a bit, especially after leaving that light source on the end. Dip back into our yellow and continue on that process with that lighter green. Of course, we don't want it too light, but you know, not dark. So just a little dab in that yellow. Alright, y'all, let's wipe it down. Lean a little bit that way. Right down. Yeah. Just wanted to make sure it was behind the camera. Yep. Wipe it down so we check it out. Yeah, colors. You got a little more spots to hit some more green in where it's light at. I'm going to slowly brush some darker green in there. Alright, now to get rid of the cover behind, I'm about to start hitting in some red as the background, of course. And as you get closer around the star, we're going to add some light. Alright, we're going with the light green. We're going to give it like a little pattern as if it's flowing in the wind. We want to follow that and then come around the back. And it's also going to help create a distraction. Give it its own style, its own piece. Alright, y'all. So what I'm doing now, well, I've been doing it for a minute. I'm watering down my red ink. So it'd be like super, like soft watercolor. But of course, by the cover up, I had to make sure I saturate the ink in. So there's gonna be some solids, there's gonna be some watercolor, light red. Have to mix it up. And with the watercolor red, it's not a whole lot of saturating you gotta do. You're kind of brushing it in there because you want it to be soft. You don't want it to be super solid. Alright, y'all, back on the outline. Before I shade in that middle part, I'll cover that little piece of poking out. I'm going to hit the outlines first. Make sure you got your lines solid in there. Once I finish outlining all this, of course, we're going to get right back to coloring it in. Alright, y'all, we're almost done with the outline. See down there. Alright, y'all, let's wipe it down, see how we looking. Got a little outlines to touch. Just at that bottom. And then we're going to start coloring it in. There we go. Alright, y'all, we about to spray on a little lidocaine. Help it try to numb up a little bit. Give it a turn. There we go. We're gonna let that sit on there about 2 minutes. We're gonna start knocking that color in that last star. Alright, y'all, back to the red. We're gonna go back to the basic red. We're still at 6.5 volts. And go to packing it in. In the small circles. Sometimes I just call myself just having fun with it. Making little patterns. And it's all connection over time. Don't worry about covering the whole star right then and there. You gotta get small pieces at a time. Small piece at a time. Because Because in the beginning I did catch myself moving fast, trying to cover up a star like real quick. But if you want that full saturation, focus on a piece at a time. And then eventually you're going to get there though, you're going to get there. And this is also another thing I tell a lot of people, y'all. It's all about your hand speed. If your machine moving more fast, then yeah, you can move fast. But if you got like 7 volts, what I'm at, or 6.5, slowly packing it in. So I said, if your hand speed don't match up with your machine speed, it's basically just not gonna work for you. Because if you're moving too fast, your ink ain't gonna really get in the skin. If you're moving too slow at a high speed, you basically will chew up the skin. And you'll have some like bracelet on overworked areas. If not all the areas, if you continue to overwork it like that. So make sure that match up. Alright, y'all, about to wipe it down. See if we have anything else left. If we have to go for another 2 hours or so. I said the only thing dark is this back here. That's why I try to curve it with the
I'm
wind.
not tripping on, like, you see how you can see it a little bit? As long as you can't see her name.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to really read it. If anything, it'd be the green. Really? You wanna let it heal up like that? Cause really, you don't really have
just
to.
come back and get it.
Yep. Let me I said you ain't gonna be able to tell.
How long until you can come get it?
You got three months. Are you talking for the touch up?
Yeah, 3 months.
Yeah.
No, until like.
2.
No, alright, 3 months.
What you talking about?
Cause I know when you get a tattoo, they say you can't get nothing on it for like.
Oh, like don't end up in a tub and stuff like that. Soak it. It's on about 3 weeks, yeah. Like getting the pool and all that.
Oh no, I'm not getting in no pool. It's cool.
That's right, huh? What's up?
I'm laughing at somebody on Facebook.
Alright, y'all. Make sure I get like pictures and everything. Get my recordings in for my reels. And also, another one I always forget is my thumbnail. Which I need to do this on the camera, on the live. So let me do this full screen. And I'm going to use this at the end for my thumbnail.